Good evening. It's the General, your man, T Money, T Wayne, King Bramer, all these names. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Hope you had a blessed day filled with a lot of joyous moments, a lot of motivation, a lot of moments where you were feeding off of the energy of others and having a beautiful energy flow through you. Just by being in a good mood, wherever you are, just by being in a good mood, just enjoying being, just enjoying your body, space, perception, just the feeling of smiling. I just like to when I smile to myself and I feel the smile. It's nice. It's nice to smile. That is enjoyable in itself. So I hope that you are having such moments and enjoying them and spreading them and talking about them, because that's what it's about. It's about recreating an environment that is conducive to growth and creativity and love, and for people to be themselves and to express themselves and want to hear about other people and want to share stuff about themselves and so on. So that's good. So what I want to talk about now is the nature of habit generation, creating habits, or how habits start, or how some habits start, and how to recognize when a good habit is starting, or how to start good habits, or how to recognize when a bad habit is starting, and how to get rid of those early. Yeah, so the first thing is a suggestion. Okay, what a suggestion is the introduction of a new idea, or a new way of doing something. I would call that a new idea as well. And this suggestion, this is when the mind starts to work, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, when the suggestion is placed in here. So when the suggestion steps in, it goes through, I have some processes written here. I wrote about this before. The process is, it's my little book here, call it New Beliefs. This is when, I meditate and so on, or, I write some of the inspiration down. So there's consideration, where it falls in your moral scope. You consider, should I listen to this person? Should I listen to this thing? Am I attracted to the source of the information? Am I attracted to the color, the vibe, the temperature of the information? Consideration, all right? And then there's rationalization, or rationalizing, all right? And that's the process of fitting this into a category, into a moral slot, deciding whether you're going to use the advice, whether you're going to use the tool, whether you're going to start doing this thing every day, whether you're going to start doing this every week, whether you're going to do it again, whether you enjoy it. Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the person, this, that, and so on? So there is a suggestion, which is the introduction of the new idea. Then there's a consideration. Then there's the rationalizing. Now this rationalization, this process of rationalizing, this is where I believe the momentum starts. This is where I believe uh, repetition starts. Because in rationalizing, there is going to be a need to visit something and compare it. And in comparison, you have the thing. And then you compare it to something else. And then you're going to compare it again. Then you have the thing again. That's the thing appearing twice now. And then something else. Then you have the thing appearing a third time to compare to something else. So then in this repetition, there we start building a habit. There we start building momentum. And before you know it, or before you can see that something has changed within you, you have yourself a habit. Now, that process, that transition from where it's been rationalized, it's been considered and so on, once that repetition and once that builds momentum, that is taken over by a different mechanism. Okay, no longer the conscious mind is responsible for when this item is thought about, or when this item is practiced, and so on, or when there is a drive for such thing. There's another machine that is responsible for conducting our heartbeats and our breaths, everything else, and so on. The subconscious, very powerful operating system, very, very powerful, and that takes over. When that takes over, you know, if you don't know how to manage and so on, you're in trouble. Especially if you develop a bad habit and it takes over in the subconscious. Now you're in trouble because that machine is way more efficient than you. It's way more efficient than your conscious mind. So, subconscious mind takes over. It's now mechanism. It's a mechanized process. You know, subconscious is taking over, and the subconscious is very efficient. The subconscious is working. You know, it very rarely, seldom ever wavers from a very consistent operation within the laws that it operates within. Anyway, so knowing this, you can now create habits. You know, you can now create